Boys and girls, today this video is on your vocabulary for the ugly vegetables. We're going to go over the 8 vocabulary words, then we're going to do 4 of our vocabulary words together, and then you can get on Google Classroom and do your other 4 on the Google Slides. So our first word is blooming. That just means when the plants are growing. It's growing flowers, and you can see here the sunflower is blooming. What time of year do we usually see the flowers blooming? What season? You should be thinking spring. Are the trees blooming in fall? No. Right now they're getting the collars and falling off. Okay, and then we have shovels, and those are tools with a wide scoop and a long handle that's used for digging and moving things. What I know, we use a shovel a lot in the wintertime. Can you think about why we might use shovels a lot in the winter? Yeah, maybe to dig out of the snow, right? So these shovels are tools to make work easier. Then we have scent, and this is a homophone because there's another type of scent. If you take the S off of this word, you have the other scent, which is money. This scent is the smell, especially we usually think of a scent as the sweet smell. Do you know what the word is for a smell that doesn't smell good? Odor. That scent is usually what we talk about when we're talking about something that smells good, and odor is something we talk about that smells bad. Number 4, tough. Something that is tough is hard to chew, cut, rip, or break apart. If you look, the pumpkin has a tough outer skin, but think about a fruit that doesn't have a tough outer skin. Maybe like a grape. There's the skin on the outside of a grape is not tough. Then we have wrinkled. Wrinkled is when it has a lot of small folds in it and it's not smooth. Sometimes when your clothes get wrinkled, you have to do, what do you have to do to your clothes when they get wrinkled? Or mom does to them. She irons them to take the wrinkles out. And you can see here they're giving you a picture that a raisin is a wrinkled grape. Then we have plain. Plain just means it's not fancy. You can tell which one is plain, right? The grass is plain. Would a paper clip be plain or fancy? That would be plain. What about a velvet dress? Right, that would be fancy. What about a t-shirt? Plain. Then we have muscles, and that's the part of your body that controls how it moves, and you need muscles to do your work, right? Do you need a lot of muscles to sleep? No, you probably need more muscles to work out, right? Or to go walking or doing something physical, but your brain is also a muscle that we use all the time. And the last one, nodded. If someone nodded, they're going to move their head up and down, and they're showing that they agree or disagree. They agree. We go side to side, shake our head side to side, that means they're disagreeing, but nodding means that they're agreeing with you. They're moving it up and down. Now, let's go ahead and make sure you have your piece of paper. I'm going to share my screen. And I want you to take your paper and I want you to go ahead and divide it into 4, since we're going to do our 4 vocabulary words. And the first word I want us to do is wrinkled. So in the center of this I want you to write the word wrinkled, and don't write it real big because we are going to be doing a circle map. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but a circle map is a defining map. I always tell the kids that it's a brainstorming map. Your brain is exploding with connections to whatever is in the center. So we're going to come up with some words. I didn't draw that very big. I hope you drew yours bigger. We're going to come up with some words that we can connect to wrinkled. The first one I'm thinking of is that the example they gave us. Raisin. A raisin is wrinkled. You think of anything else? Maybe clothes. Your clothes get wrinkled. Our face, our body gets wrinkled, sadly. And I know, like in the swimming pool or in the pool when you're out in the water a lot, so I'm going to put water because I can connect that, because being in the water a long time, your fingers get wrinkly, doesn't it? And sometimes when you wad up paper to throw it away and you open it back up, you have wrinkles. So paper. And maybe you can add a few more things there for wrinkled. But this is our defining map or our circle map. And all of these words here, we have to be able to connect back and make sense to this word wrinkled. Okay, and the next word I want us to do is plain. Plain. And on this, we're going to divide this box into two. And on one side, I'm going to draw a plain pencil. So very plain, just one of your yellow standard pencils. Sharpened pencil with just plain or that's plain, correct? Over here, I want you to draw a pencil that we would consider a fancy pencil. Turn a pencil fancy. What might a fancy pencil look like? Go ahead and draw it. It's going to have a really cool eraser. And it's going to have one of those little pom-poms around it. And it's going to have like a really cool design. And I'm going to add here, I'm going to pretend those are like maybe the sparkle color. So draw a fancy pencil. Plain, fancy. See the difference? Okay, and if you want to pause to finish your drawing, you can do that. But the next one we're going to do, let's do knotted. Knotted. And if we were separating this, it would come between the two letters, wouldn't it? Knotted. All right, let's go ahead and do a bridge map. And boys and girls, a bridge map is an analogy. And a bridge map is really good because it shows connections, it shows comparisons. And right here, these two words have to link up in some way. We have to be able to figure out what the link is. So I'm going to put right here the word no. And I'm going to put right here, I'm going to put arrows that go like this. And I'm going to draw a head showing that the head is going back and forth. What is the link between this word and this word? What is the link? Well, I hope you thought, well, the link is when you say no, this is what you do. Your head goes back and forth. So now think about the word knotted. Knotted. That means what? What do you think is going to go over here? The opposite of no. Yes. And we're going to put nodded, but we're also going to draw a picture like they did over here because it needs to be the same. And their head is going up and down, correct? And I probably should have a word right here so it matches up. We could say back and forth. We could write that word here. But an analogy shows comparisons, and you have to look at the link between the first two words, and the same link has to be over here to match up. So nodded just means you're saying yes by moving your head up and down. When you shake your head back and forth, you're saying the opposite, which is no. So we've done a circle map. We've done example, non-example with a sketch. And we've done our analogy with our bridge map for nodded. And the last word let's do is, let's see, we did plain. We have one more. Oh, tough. Tough. And this has that funny chunk O-U-G-H. And that says uff. Okay, so I think on tough, we're just going to give some examples of things that are tough. So just some examples. Can you think of something that's tough? I'm thinking steak can be tough, right? I'm thinking leather is tough material. Oh, I know. Car tires are tough, right? They have that. Think of things that are thick. Oh, I know. A test can be tough. Now, is that test the same kind of tough as these three things? No, this means it's tough mentally, right? Where these things are just the outsides of it, or the material of it is tough. So hopefully you can come up with some other examples for tough, but those are 4 of the words we did together: wrinkled, plain, knotted, and tough. I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share your vocabulary triggers that you're going to be doing. And so here you can see, you're going to insert a picture to show that you understand what blooming means. Here you have an acrostic, and boys and girls, I'm going to say again that the acrostic, you cannot just pick any words you want to put in here. And it doesn't have to be the start of the letter. It can be, M can be in the word, but they all have to relate back to muscles. Okay, so I know that's a big word, but I think you can do it. And then over here is something a little different we haven't done before. This is a shovel, and I want you to come up with action words, because shovels we use when we work. So, and work is actually a word an action word you could connect with shovel. So come up with 4 action words to connect with shovel. This one is your analogy. And I want you to look, I said the link is in the purpose of the body parts. So in other words, you have to put a link right here, top and bottom, and the same link has to be over here. So you have to connect what your body, a body part with what it does. And your vocabulary for this is scent. So build that analogy with the link, a body part, and what the body part does. So that's your vocabulary words. And remember, boys and girls, vocabulary words really help you read, because reading is about understanding what you're reading. And the more vocabulary you have, the more you're going to understand things. So please keep reading and reading and reading, because the more you read, the more vocabulary you're going to have. So happy reading and have a wonderful week.